It is 9 o'clock. My name is Darnell Ballard, and welcome to Nightly News. Every single night, we're going to have guests on the show to talk about a lot of hot topics that's going on. Shout out to Mark Carter, my mother, Minister Mary Ballard, to everyone out there that's tuning in to us. Tonight, we have a very special guest. He's also part of United My Justice. He's the paralegal for United My Justice, and he is with us tonight because, as you know, the big top story news is talking about the shooting. Another shooting has happened in the state of Texas, in Arlington, Texas. And we have our professional legal guy with us tonight, John Williams. Good evening, John. How you doing?
Hey, good to be on the show tonight. Glad to have to be in the house tonight, be on the show tonight. And thank you for having me.
Yes, man. And we're very excited about you here on Channel 49 because you're getting ready to get your own show where you're going to be doing interviews with different people. And we'll talk about that sometime tonight, man. But we want to get into the top story news. Shout out to Nikki tuning in to us. And John, your mother listening to us tonight, right?
Right. And shout out to my mother. Shout out to Miss Nikki as well.
Yeah. So, John, what is going on? What happened today with this school shooting? Because this is crazy. All of this shooting that is happening all across the country. John, what happened?
Well, I've been busy today myself because I have I'm working on my son's case,
right,
myself, doing some investigation, some internal investigation myself. Mm-hmm. In his ultimate death last month. So I kind of got briefed on this a little late, but looking into, when the time this shooting started, I think it was at Timberville High School in Arlington.
Today? Yes.
Yeah. Here's what I see. You have 4 injured, you have 1 in critical condition, 2 young men. And they showed the fight. I think it was on channel 21.1. I think that's channel 4 also. Okay. And it followed this fight. But this is what they said. At first, they was calling it an active shooter. Then they changed the narrative. It said not because it wasn't shooting at random people. They said that it wasn't an active shooter.
Okay.
This was an incident involving 2 people who ultimately mainly knew each other. Mm-hmm. But it's fallen on the idea that, I think a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, they said that they had looked at having metal detectors for this particular school and this particular campus, and they had ruled that out. So they're thinking, now they may put those, metal detectors in and stuff like that. But here's what's ironic about it.
Okay.
You have, when they changed the narrative to a non-active shooter, mm-hmm. They accessed the bond because the young man turned himself in. I can't think of what his name is right now. Turned himself in with his attorney. Mm-hmm. But they accessed the bond of $75,000.
Okay, $75,000.
3 people, okay. Yeah. So you can roughly think $25,000 a piece of one and somebody's in critical condition. Mm-hmm. So this must be more along the lines of either looking at a self-defense or somebody attacked somebody first. Because it sounds to me like with the bond assessed the way it is, that it's not as threatening as
people say it is,
as it was placed out there to be.
Okay.
Yeah, and so when you look at it like that, when you look at it other perspective, when you think about practicing pathos, logos, and ethos with it. Because, you get the parents involved and stuff like that. And nobody knows what's going on. But this was more like a closed incident. Mm-hmm. 2 people that was fighting. And then one, may have gotten confronted by somebody else. So it's supposed to be a 15 and 18-year-old. Maybe the 15-year-old went and got somebody else. And, the boy couldn't handle him. And it looked like he was choking him in the video. Mm-hmm. So, he retaliated the best way he knew how. Maybe the other person had a knife or had a gun too. So just only 1 person was charged out of this, but he did turn himself in. So I look at it when they changed the narrative to the non-active shooter. It makes you think. It makes you wonder. Which way are we really headed? We have the governor right now looking into a few years ago, 3 years ago, at the I think what happened in that little town. I can't think of it right now. My mind slipped.
Okay.
But and then with the current gun laws that we have, and then I don't want to put race in factor, but that may play a big factor in it because these were two young Native African American male men,
Right.
young men, and one of them was placed, face was placed totally out there because he's 18 years old, so he wasn't really juvenile. So and the other one wasn't. So
But
I really don't know what's going to happen.
But if you look at this, John, and you make a good point when you say that. For those who tune into us, you tuning into us. We're talking about this young brother, this young man right here who has been arrested. The shooter has been arrested, and but the question is, are they going to play this as feeling sorry for him? Are they going to say that he was
bullied, something like
a bully, because if you notice, and I'm not racist against, but let's call it out what we see it. This is a young African American, okay, young African American. This is not a young white 18-year-old. We are talking about a young black male. A young black male is already considered as a threat to society. So now, are they going to call him a drug dealer? Are they going to call him a gangster? What are they going to call him? Because at the end of the day, there is a different how people react as when a young black man is doing a shooting at a school versus a white boy. Because if you notice, that white guy is going to be considered as having a mental illness. I have not yet heard him say anything. Was this young man bullied? And like you say, we got to look at the scenarios about this. What really took place? Let's talk about that, John. What really took place? Was he angry? Was he frustrated? Did he go back to get these guys because these guys have been messing with them? Whatever the situation is, something happened. And that's the reason that we as a community have to stay on top of this. We have to start working with our kids. We have to start working with these babies. We're not angry. Find out why these young people do what they do. Did this young man have enough? Did this young man have enough problems that he was so angry that he just couldn't take it no more? Was they messing with him? We have to look at the scenario about this. And we are not getting the scenario because they continue to say that he did this. But let's look at why he did what he did. Just like if it was a young white 18-year-old, they would have said the same thing, but they would have already painted the picture that he was a mental illness young man. That way, he can be painted for the white folks to feel sorry for. What do you think about that, man? Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. We're gonna keep it real on this show right here. We're gonna keep it real. I yet have heard them say, what is the problem?
Well, yeah, you said it. You said it. So the narrative is always painted when the shoe is on the other foot.
Right.
It's always safeguarded. Let's look at the home. Let's look at what happened. Always.
Exactly.
But when it comes down to the other foot, or when it comes down to the 5 on the black hand side, then that side is corrected.
Right. You make a good point when you say that.
They correct the back side, but the front side is always, because if take your hand, turn it to one side, it's white, the other side is gonna be brown, and that's why they slap you on the back side of the hand. They correct the brown, but they shake the white hand.
Yes,
so
they do.
No matter what they do, damn what they do.
You're right.
So the narrative is already painted there. So you have to if it were all black school, then what we would be saying?
Yeah, you're right.
See, if it's an all black community, then what?
Well, here's the deal.
Hold on, let me finish.
Okay,
because this is what they're saying. Well, this happened in America.
Yeah.
Well, who you talking about? Because it happened in Arlington.
Yeah.
But when you're saying it's America.
Right. Yeah,
and see, when you're saying it's America, but you talking about two black folks, what are you trying to say? Black folks got no reason not being out their place.
Right,
it's America.
Right.
See, but we don't want to view it that way.
No. Because now, I mean, and you're right. And the reason we don't want to deal with it that way is because This young man is an African American who did the same thing that any other white guy do. But they're gonna paint him, and more my word, we're gonna hear more about this, and we're gonna hear all kinds of stuff come out. But it ain't gonna be what people think it's gonna be. It ain't gonna be that he was a mental illness. They're gonna be like, oh, he knew exactly what he was doing. It was a setup. What he did was wrong. Instead of looking at the problem of what caused him to do this.
What occurred? What led it to it? So
yeah, what led him to it? What made him click on these people? What made him click on it? Was he getting bullied? That's not even gonna come up in a conversation because they're gonna make this young man to be a monster. Let's be real. Yeah. They're gonna make him be a monster. We gotta remember that. Put that in right in. They're gonna make this young man become a monster. They're not gonna feel sorry for him. And don't be surprised if they put on the table that they want to execute this guy and kill him. I'm just saying. Go ahead, John. Go ahead.
So, again, the narrative is already painted for the other side, the shoe on the other foot. So the young man that went into the church and shot up all those black folks.
Who went to don't forget, went to fast food and got him some food after he did what he did. Go ahead.
And they're able to turn themselves in, keep their weapon and everything. this young man was able to turn himself in, with his attorney and stuff like that.
Right.
So that tells you already a big story right there. He already knows what's going on. It's just more to it now,
Right.
But that's gonna again be left out. They might say what led up to it, but still the punishment is gonna be what he guilty get regardless.
Oh yeah, you're right. And that's exactly what's gonna happen.
And so you can't dispute that. So you can't dispute that, but then it's gonna be the same thing as this case that's coming up.
Right.
Then what's the difference? Because the person is in uniform.
And speaking of that, and I'm glad you brought that up, man. And speaking of that, this Saturday, the Eye of Tatiana Jefferson, they will be having a big parade in downtown Fort Worth. The parade will start at 11:30. We're still trying to get more information about it. We'll continue to talk about that, man. But I just wanted to bring that up, that they will be having a parade for our Tatiana Jefferson, the late Tatiana Jefferson. That will be this coming up Saturday. So y'all get prepared. And that's another thing we're going to talk about when we get back from the break, man, about this case that is coming up with the Tatiana Jefferson. We're going to talk about that coming up. You're going to be the guest on the show the whole entire time with us tonight, man. But anyway, man, before we go to our break, man, what are your thoughts and what do you think so far, what are you getting when you see them painting a picture of this young black man who goes by Timothy George? Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So, thus far, it's well, how did he get a weapon? How did he obtain it?
Mm-hmm.
And how did he get it in the school when there is uniformed officers and security? How did he obtain it? Where did he get it from? What's the background?
Same way the white guy get one. Come on.
Yeah, but they got to find out, how did he get access to this certain black? He's not in his place. So how did he get it?
Okay.
So how did he get it? And this is America's problem now. It just started being America's problem today.
Oh, okay. Today.
Because that happened. Yeah.
Okay. So all of a sudden they're making it a USA problem now.
It's America's problem.
Okay. I mean, how do you view? You are paralegal for the show and for the TV station and United Methodist. How do you view this?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's saying be alone. There's a movie called Empire.
Mm-hmm.
A new movie that just came out, Empire. Go watch Empire. That's a good movie to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then they tell you another narrative, give you a different narrative. It really depicts on, are you gonna, what are you really for? Yeah. And so here's another, if we take history and we take law, if we take it together, they practice what they pathos, ethos, or logos, and they practice this on parents, and so the school gonna be shut down for 2 days. Now, this happened in 1991 in Longview, same thing. School, Longview High wasn't shut down. There's two blacks fought. It's about 2,200 students. There's 1,700 there. This is Longview High, 1991. Okay. They didn't shut the school. They shot, pow, shooting and everything. Somebody got shot in the head. Somebody got shot in the leg. Black girl got shot. A lot of people. Go look it up. Now, the school was back open the next day.
Wow.
You better not have missed school. And you wouldn't talk about it. It wasn't an active shooter, and they was actively shooting. And they wasn't shooting at people, but some other people got shot.
Hold that thought, John. We're gonna go to a quick commercial break, y'all. When we come back, we got John Williams, paralegal, live with us. We'll be right back right after this. Don't go nowhere.
It makes sense not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? You'll never know if you don't go. You'll never shine if you don't blow. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid. And all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play.
The future's bright. The future's orange.
It's a night of legends. Saturday, December 11th at the Texas CU Theater at Grand Prairie.
You be the judge. Who's the greatest of all time?
Maze, featuring Frankie Beverly and the Isley Brothers. As the silent partner present the Winter White Party with the Isley Brothers and Maze, featuring Frankie Beverly.
With special guest, Johnny Watley.
Get tickets at the box office and AXS.com.
Sing, y'all, come on.
By the silent partner.
Howdy, folks. Welcome to the State Fair of Texas. It's the best 24 days of the year. Get your discount tickets at bigtex.com/TV.
This is another Silent Partner 2021 Reset Concert Series update.
Wednesday, October 13th, it's Her, the Back of My Mind tour. Then on Friday, October 15th, the Wild Card tour with Legacy with special guest Music Soul Child. Thursday, October 21st, it's Lust and Love with Anthony Hamilton, Tank, and introducing Jay Brown and Alex Isley. It's all happening at the Texas Trust CU Theater at Grand Prairie. Get tickets at AXS.com or thesilentpartner.biz.
Makes sense not to live for fun. Your brain gets smart, but your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? You'll never know if you don't go. You'll never shine if you don't glow. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid. And all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold. Get your game on, go play.
The future's bright. The future's orange.
Howdy, folks. Welcome to the State Fair of Texas. It's the best 24 days of the year. Get your discount tickets at bigtex.com/TV.
This is another Silent Partner 2021 Reset Concert Series update.
Wednesday, October 13th, it's Her, the Back of My Mind tour. Then on Friday, October 15th, the Wild Card tour with Legacy with special guest Music Soul Child. Thursday, October 21st, it's Lust and Love with Anthony Hamilton, Tank, and introducing Jay Brown and Alex Isley. It's all happening at the Texas Trust CU Theater at Grand Prairie. Get tickets at AXS.com or thesilentpartner.biz. It's a night of legends. Saturday, December 11th at the Texas CU Theater at Grand Prairie.
You be the judge. Who's the greatest of all time?
Maze, featuring Frankie Beverly and the Isley Brothers. As the silent partner presents the Winter White Party with the Isley Brothers and Maze, featuring Frankie Beverly.
With special guest, Johnny Watley.
Get tickets at the box office and AXS.com.
Sing, y'all, come on.
Produced by the Silent Partners.
Happy.
All right, y'all. We are back right here on your daily news, and we're gonna be interviewing different people every single night. Tonight, John Williams, the first guest and special guest with us tonight, right here on Channel 49 TV network. And John, before the break, you was giving your scenario, you was giving your input. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, like I was saying, you know, at Longview High in '91, you know, they were active shooters. These was young black brothers. Two active shooters. They had a fight just the same way. The day before they had a fight. They had even announced that they were going to be shooting because one brother came with a gun the day before and he couldn't handle the boy. So came with his gun the next day and they had to shoot out and a couple of people were shot. The next day we were back at Longview High. They had a place then if you were a troublemaker or if you couldn't really be around the students or population with the students. It had a place in Longview called the Access Building.
Okay.
And that was up there by Good Shepherd Hospital.
Wow.
In Longview, right across from the cemetery. And a lot of students went there. And I was one of the students that had to go there. You know, you had bad behavior, you had to go there. You know, I had to finish out your school year there. But, you know, those are some of the things I guess wouldn't be, you know, offered at the Timberview, you know. But at Longview, in Gregg County, Smith County, well, actually Gregg County, it was offered. But that was in the early '90s. And they had a way to control you. They didn't have to have a metal detector. They didn't have to have officers up there. It just was a different time then. And the guns was available and accessible, and it was drug dealers just like it is, same thing. Just the internet wasn't like it, you know, same thing. It's computers, but we didn't have that. That was the only difference. You know, something happened, it had to get out. You know, but other than that, but the control they had a sense of control. Today, the narrative has changed. So then they didn't say this is America's problem. This is, you know, this is United States problem. You know, this is not just a local issue and a isolated issue that we can deal with. We have the resources to deal with, and we can deal with it. And then not only that, we got both the people. Now, how in the hell is it? You see what I'm saying? See, same as that scenario then in Longview in 1991. They had both the people. They had the both suspects, and one of them turned himself in just like the other, just like this young man in this case. So you just have to look at the narrative and what they're really trying to say and what are they really trying to really boggle down to and get people to gravitate to.
Right,
so that's what we're dealing with in this particular situation.
Wow. Man, this is really sad for those who just now tuning into us right here on Channel 49 TV network. We're talking to John Williams, who is a paralegal with us and also a paralegal for United My Justice. And I gotta say a big shout out to Miss Latrice tuning into us. What's up, Latrice? We are actually going to be working on her and her husband case right here with United My Justice. Also, a big shout out to Nikki. You got a quick shout out real quick, man?
Yeah, I was out toward El Central College today.
Oh, okay.
You know, and I ran into a couple of professors.
Oh, so they tune in too, or something?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Professor. She's a mathematician, Professor Nikki, and a couple of other professors there that I know. I want to give them a shout out to. I can't think of y'all name. Y'all know y'all.
Yeah, shoot, I'm the same way, man. I be forgetting people's name. I'm bad. Don't y'all charge it to me. Charge it to my heart, because I am very, very bad when it comes down to names, man. I also got to say a big shout out to my cousin. I ran into my cousin yesterday, Bush Clemens. Ran into him, and you know, he was getting him something to eat at Tommy Burger. You know, that's say, John, you know, I got two favorite restaurants that I go to. Right. Which one, John? John already knows both
Tommy Burger, right? And Julio.
I don't go there.
That's
too expensive.
Where you going?
Y'all, I'm broke. I may have a TV station, but I'm broke as hell, y'all.
That's the only one that about this. Oh yeah, and I also shout out to the bridge down at the bridge.
Okay.
Isaiah was a client there and a resident there, and so I took them to the Black News today so they could see his article.
Man, I tell you what, man, we have had a great conversation tonight about a lot of stuff. Y'all can check me out And you can check me out here on Channel 49 TV every night, Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. to 9:30, giving you the latest in news, interviews with different people. We're working on getting Toby Jackson back on the show, but from the school district representing the school district. What you think about that, man?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, I'm working on that. And also, man, we want to get we got a lot of more people that we want to get on there, man. You want to say a shout out to your sons and your mother, don't you?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my mother, Carolyn. Carolyn Paul out there.
Okay.
LeJohn and Isaac out there, and to their mother, the vet. And also, I need to get that information, y'all, so y'all tuned in. I need that information ASAP about Isaiah. Plus, Isaac, I need his Isaiah SS card. So.
Right. And the governor is figuring that, man, it must be pretty bad because even the governor of Texas is speaking out about this gun violence that just happened today. What are your thoughts on that?
And that's what I was addressing. You know, when you alarm, when you make it some high alarm, but you've already constituted a HB 1927, and then all these other detrimental laws that got people either advocating against or standing up for or confused about in any way, and got a state of confusion.
Right.
You know, then you keep people off balance, and they just don't know what the solution really is.
That's so true. I agree with you.
And so as we continue to, go through this slippery slope on a banana peel, we'll really never be able to catch our grip.
But I tell you what, John, you were so right about that. John, we want to thank you. It's 27 after the hour. It's almost 28. We want to thank John for being a very special guest with us tonight right here on Channel 49 TV Network. And every single night, we're going to have a very special guest. We're going to be talking about hot topics. If you guys are talking about, you better believe we're talking about it, and we're talking about it because everybody is talking about this, man. I was looking at the 530 News, man, when it made top story news on the 530 News, man, which is the global news. You should have knew right there it was gonna be all over the world. What you think?
Yeah, but when you deeper into it, looking deeper into the surface, you'll see it's really not about nothing. This is probably something to shake people up to get them ready for what's really for the next
right.
wave.
I definitely agree with you on that. Man, I tell you what.
We'll just wait to see what happens.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. All right, guys, 28 after the hour. We want to thank everybody for tuning in to us. Remember, if it is to be, it's up to you. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow.